Wow, 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 wow.
Okay.
We're here, everyone. We did it.
Anime. But first,
Anime, but first.
Baldur's Gate 3. A couple of things I just want to talk
Okay.
about real quick. First off, can
Hi,
you
guys.
say
This is Joel. We're at Thunder Goose Podcast, and we love you guys.
anime, but first. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you tell me the fact you just said about Baldur's Gate 3 before we started recording?
That there's here. I want to look this up so I'm not misquoting this, but I thought that I saw there was a bare sex scene of some
No,
sort.
not that one. The other one. The endings and stuff. the bear sex scene, whatever.
Yeah, well,
I believe
we'll
that.
leave that up. Hey, maybe that's in the game. Maybe it's not. So there, I think it's like 176 hours of cutscene footage, which is fucking crazy, and then 17,000, as in 17, comma 3 zeros behind it.
Endings.
Boom, endings.
Now
That's
part
crazy.
of that's just due to the variation because of how much different can happen.
Yeah.
But because I haven't looked at that at all. But what I wanted to say was, you've seen the developer response to this game, right?
Yeah, he said, "Uh-oh, I made dumb game." No, I don't know what he said.
No, not Larion. People like other studios reacting to the developer, like to this game, of like, hey, you guys don't expect this kind of game don't expect this kind of game to come out from everyone now. You know, have you heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's I think that's silly.
Well, I don't know. Because it's one of those things like I don't think people should expect that. It's the same thing with Marvel. Marvel absolutely killed the movie industry because they made $200 million movies that were pretty much the same constantly over and over and over again. And then that sold and did well. And now everyone feels like they have to fit a mold, and like a lot of good art isn't being made anymore. It's just cookie cutter bullshit,
now,
which is what video games will in turn do.
I think there's a slight difference in the scenario between Marvel and that and this. The only difference I would say is Baldur's Gate is not. I mean, so Baldur's Gate should it be a model or a template? So Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, right.
Will games ape Elden Ring?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna try, right?
Yeah, they're gonna try.
Okay. Even if they're gonna be nowhere near as good, right?
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah.
So what that's like, we know that something that won't surpass Elden Ring probably until an Elden Ring 2.
Right.
And even that might not surpass it, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing, unless someone outdoes Elden Ring, right? Which I don't know what they're going to do until it's outdone by from themselves. But you should always strive to outdo the competition, because then you get more money from selling the game more, of the game.
That's real, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to just admit that flat out it sounds really lazy to me.
That other people are being like, hey guys, don't expect us to make that.
Don't expect games like this from us.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't, like, that's that's not what they're saying.
Which company said that?
It was a Ubisoft dev.
Yeah, okay. Well, fucking, okay, dud. We don't. Your games are trash.
So, well, I don't want to, I'm not.
Literally say a good game.
I don't want to take
a good game from Ubisoft.
I don't want to take an aggressive stance against Ubisoft.
I'm
Valiant Heart.
You said Valiant Heart?
Valiant Hearts. The war game. The 2D one where you walk. That's Ubisoft.
That was Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. They did a good indie game.
You just said you. Oh, okay. You want a good AAA game?
Yeah. Tell me a good AAA game.
Assassin's Creed 2.
No. Wait, was that Brotherhood?
That was before Brotherhood, but yeah.
The online play was pretty tight for that one.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed 2 is a good one. Okay,
that's a pretty good one.
I mean, you were into Rainbow Six for a long time.
I was, but it wasn't a good game. I mean, actually, I'll be real. It did start out as a good game, but then they killed it, so I don't count that as a good game.
I could also say any of the Splinter Cell games, because basically all of them are
the old school Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's do this. What happened to them? Because they did make good games back in the day.
Well, they wanted multiplayer games that they could monetize better. That's the real answer. They said that. That's what they chose to do.
That's fair. What else did they do? They did Rainbow Six, and what else? Other multiplayer?
For Honor, Rainbow Six.
For Honor?
For Honor was people still play that, and it just got a resurgence.
Really?
Yep. They added in Another Nation. I don't know what it was. I can't remember, but it was
Interesting.
Another Nation. So They monetize that super heavily. Far Cry has a lot of heavy monetization. You can buy single player like experience enhancers in that game, you know.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed's the same way, you know. There's a lot of monetization on these games.
That's fair.
And all these games are also serializing.
Yeah, I guess.
You would see a new Assassin's Creed every year for a long time.
Oh, I know you did.
Yeah, you'd see a lot of
beat the shit out of that dead horse.
Yeah. You know what makes me sad?
What?
No more Ghost Recon.
Dude, I love Ghost Recon. I have Ghost Recon, the first one that they did, and I uninstall a lot, but there was times where I will like I'm in the mood to just like go because it was like one of the best games. It's like you just have like your squad of people, especially if you're playing with friends and you get to go and do all this. It's so fun.
I just loved how like you were pretty vulnerable at all times.
Oh, at all times.
Like,
I died so
right, you died so
much.
quickly and right away, right?
Yeah.
Like I loved that part of it, like trying to like hide and camp and look for the, you know.
Yeah, and they made it like you had to like really like go in and do your thing, but it was like fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways, Baldur's Gate 3 is apparently an amazing game. We're not playing it. I think it's hilarious that devs are complaining about this game, how high quality it is.
No one should ever complain about something high quality.
I also think it's a really ballsy move for a developer from a bigger company to come out and say you shouldn't expect that from a bigger company.
We just make really good shooter games. Like, okay.
I think that's a ballsy ass move to say.
That's crazy.
But
I mean, honestly, that made me not want to buy anything that they're gonna do. I don't need your stupid new haptic suit to feel me when I'm getting stabbed. Did you know that's a thing that they're doing with the new Assassin's Creed
I'm interested to see.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, support who you want to support. Whatever. I don't buy games from Ubisoft a lot either, just because I'm not a huge fan of their kind of games. But that's not because I don't like them so much.
More so, there's just the games that are
Far Cry and Assassin's Creed.
Man, Far Cry was fun, though.
You like Far Cry a lot. Those weren't my games really too much. But
I like
actually,
Far Cry.
Out of all of them, Far Cry, though, is probably the one I liked the most out of all their games.
Which one?
Far Cry.
Yeah.
If I wasn't going to include Valiant Hearts, I'll be honest, Valiant Hearts is top tier. That's a really good game, and I cried. I definitely cried in that game multiple times.
Yeah, I don't like it because it's just only to depress you.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's okay. I say that loving Omari, which is the same exact thing.
I like Child of Light too. That was good.
I didn't play that one.
That was a take-turn RPG.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's all I have to say. I'll be picking up Baldur's Gate 3 pretty early when it comes out on PS5. So we'll talk more about it then probably.
Good luck. I don't think it's coming out anymore.
It got canceled in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said this game is too high powered. It is making everyone angry. We're gonna remove it.
Bye bye Cyberpunk. Anyways, we're here. I only said it because Cyberpunk got dumped off the.
What did it happen?
When it first came out, it got dumped off PSN. Sony said nope, bye, and took it off their store. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. But we should talk about anime, man.
I don't want to. Psych! I love anime, and also I'm really excited to talk about this one with you. I'm gonna read it. I didn't even read what you send this to me, right?
Did you? We're starting with Bleach.
We're starting. No, hell no, we don't.
Oh, okay.
We start with Zombie.
Quick, a couple quick notes. One, there's no JJK discussion this week because JJK did a recap.
And hey, no, we will talk about JJK this episode.
Oh.
JJK, what the fuck are you guys doing on this recap episode? Because you just recapped what we all just watched.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, were you going to recap us I don't know, the movie Zero? Do that. And then, I don't know, season 1 or 2. I get it. I guess we have 3 weeks, but that feels lazy. Like, you just take a week off. Like, that editor, why did you pay him to do that? It didn't make any sense. I was like, you know what? I was eating like lunch and I was like, I'll just throw it on because I kind of want to see like the movie done in a short way or whatever. And then when it was that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is literally exactly what I just watched.
Yeah.
No.
I watched it and I got about 8 minutes into it and I was like, look, I'm just gonna watch the actual episode for this part.
It's so cool.
Because it's like
it makes you just want to see the actual episode.
I just gotta back out and don't even have to scroll up really. So
yeah. You're just.
I was like, okay, whatever. I knew we knew it was coming, but
so that's all I'll say on that one. Didn't make sense.
It's annoying. But we should get into Zom 100 if you want to.
Let's get into it.
Yeah,
man.
I wrote this. I was gonna read this one and have Joel read Bleach.
No. I want to read this one.
Okay, let me read alongside you. So
why did you mess up?
No. Did you already read it?
I didn't read it at all yet.
Okay, so it's got my thoughts on it. So this is fun.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. It'd be funny because I want to see your thoughts.
All right.
Or you want to read it?
No.
Okay, Zom 100. Akira and Tendo planned their next move to head to Gunma. Did I say that right?
Gunma. I don't know.
But first, Akira wants Akira. I did it again.
Akira, the car.
I did it with the car, dude. Akira wants to be a superhero. Pause. I thought that was kind of dumb too. Okay, moving forward.
Thank you. They
head to an aquarium to get a shark bite resistant wetsuit. Very smart and not something that's done in a lot of, Okay, anyway. Akira saves some people from zombies and has them hide in the aquarium. Luke's choice for one of this season's worst characters then proceeds to berate our heroes for saving her. Great. Gotta love that character work. And since Akira is so pure, he sees nothing wrong with being bullied by this girl.
You said Akira again?
Oh, I did.
Which is why I laughed. Okay. Akira.
Akira. There's a zombie shark that doesn't make any sense, but don't worry. It'll make even less sense when we punch it with a battery and it dies. And then everyone survives. Luke's contender for most annoying anime character then blushes since Akira tells her he wants to protect her, then she just dips. I knew it was going to be spicy.
Not a fan of this episode.
Luke didn't like this episode. I like this episode a lot.
This is one of those shows where I just have to come to terms with a lot of this not mattering.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's also anime.
Sure, but they're trying to
land.
Right, and so is Bleach. But I care more about Bleach.
Yeah, I know.
There's they try to put tension in this show. And nothing's happened and ever. The only time we've seen a character die is for like the 3 seconds we got to spend with that neighbor couple, and then they were dead when we came back. That's the only time we ever had like a death. Otherwise, it's just been our own boy just doing his and the boss and the stuff in the beginning. Now you're gonna say, what about all the zombies?
Didn't watch there's a lot of people that died.
Well, that's true. That's the one I didn't watch as much, huh? They all died, huh?
They all died, dog. Every single one.
Okay, so there was tension. That being said, that's not really the issue with this episode. The bigger issue is none of this makes any damn sense. And none of it has to make any damn sense. First thing, a shark-resistant wetsuit, totally a real thing. Sure. The fact that it's just sitting there ready for Tendo to go grab and put on, fits him perfectly, and then makes a superhero suit, and then he's just fine from zombies now. Fine. I'm fine with that. Whatever. The dickhead chick that comes in to once again just be a dickhead is so annoying.
Yeah.
And for Akira to not have any retaliation at all, just to take it and then become a better person off it is so annoying.
Why?
Because then she's still an asshole.
Yeah.
And I think
for now,
I don't like her. I'm annoyed by her. I don't want her in the show. Whenever she's on screen and she has good ideas, I'm like, why? Who is this annoying girl who gets, because she's just going to, I don't like her. So
it's fair. Do you ever see from her perspective, though, which they show the end where.
In the first episode, they did, yeah.
Well, episode. That's true. But then even in this episode, they're just like kind of, again, I guess like just to me, like doubling down on she doesn't understand like this. Akira's whole thing is
just gotta think just 2 seconds before you say it, man. I know how smart you are. You're a genius.
Akira says his whole thing is like, my whole life was a living hell and now I get to, like, I don't care when I die, blah blah blah. And Tendo is now in the same thing where he's like, what purpose does my life have? I need to make it count. And then she is on the side of maybe she's had an enjoyable life or whatever, and then now it's like, I just need to stay alive. So I think that
if I had known about her backstory at all, I wouldn't be having this conversation at all.
What do you mean?
She might have had an enjoyable life. If I had known any of that, this wouldn't be this conversation.
Okay.
But this is just a dickhead chick.
Well,
she doesn't do anything but be mean to our guy. And she's filthy rich.
She's a dick. Being rich doesn't matter in this world anymore. So she's not rich.
Well, she lives in a penthouse suite basically with all this,
which maybe she just like a genius. She found
she's a genius and she knows how to hack and do all this weird stuff.
I mean, that part is I don't understand that.
Like she's a genius. Like she's she's got to be rich if she has like machines that she can make cars drive on their own this early into the apocalypse.
She had machines that cars could drive.
Well, she ordered that truck she got the notification of that truck right from a camera she had set up.
She did set up a camera,
locked onto. Okay, whatever that stuff. That's still like
he's getting mad at this person, and then
I'm just saying.
So stupid.
I'm just saying this girl.
He doesn't. This is what it is. You don't like her attitude, and that's the real issue.
I don't like her that she's a dickhead, and the character gets away from it. Like gets away with it. Like she's just a mean character, and our characters grows from it happy-go-lucky.
Yeah,
and it's like license to be a jerk. I don't think that character is interesting.
That's fair.
And I also don't. You're also like if you do like Akira, and you're like, why are you being nice to this person?
Right.
Why do you have a crush on the person who's just a dick to you?
I don't know, because she's hot. Obviously, that's why he's just like, oh, girl who is hot.
The other issue is
she's wearing sports bra. And then now he's in love.
Yeah.
Again, hey, not a perfect story. I'm with you, but guess what? The reason why I love this episode is I was like, this is anime as hell for no fucking reason. When he literally was like, I'm a superhero and I'm going to punch the shark, and she threw the batteries and he grabbed it, and then the level of animation on this episode is insane.
Yeah,
also, absolutely. I was thinking this is literally copying it felt like My Hero, because he looks kind of like Deku, and then he was doing the thing. I was like, this is literally like Deku, and that made me laugh so hard.
I think it's more satirical in that.
That's
point
what I think.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know. Now, there's no doubt about it. The show is pretty to watch. I don't have an issue with that at all.
And shark with legs,
I think a zombie shark with no legs is probably the dumbest thing.
Why is that dumb? That's so cool.
Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't even make sense. That's what I'm saying. Take sense out of it. Is it cool without making sense? I think it's a walking shark is a terrifying thing. You're just throwing in fear. You're throwing in people's fears, which is giant shark.
You're throwing in tension.
And then they're like, what if it had legs because the zombies were in it and it sprouted legs, which is so fucking stupid. But I was like, okay, what if? You just got to go with the world, baby. You got to go, okay, I'm in it. It's their world. I'm in their world. I'm not in my world. That's
why I started this whole thing with I just don't know if this is the kind of show for me. When you just don't have any care for it like that. And like a zombie shark doesn't even make like... Okay, the zombies are chasing after whatever the shark's looking at. How's the shark coordinating that with other zombies? How can the zombies know anything? How are they even all in sync? Are they teammates now? Like, how is this like a unit? Like, I don't like what? What is this? How did the shark even get them out onto land to do like? And like,
I think they were just there. I don't think it was implying that the shark was doing anything.
And
they were there.
Does it seem to make sense? No, but like, if it doesn't make sense, then I don't need to worry about the tension, and I can just sit here and just look at the pretty stuff, and then not think about it after I'm done.
I mean, it's true.
And I have a word for that, and I just call it mindless.
Yeah,
and that's not what I want. Personally.
That's fair.
Now, I don't think the show is mindless. I think the show has a follow through, and it's got some interesting parts to it, but I don't have any kind of like worry about any of these characters, which means I don't have much of an attachment to them.
Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, I definitely do think that it's a very low stakes, anime. I mean, because again, like if they just kill him immediately, I mean, it does kind of go back and forth a little bit because I mean, they do kill a lot of like just random people.
Yeah, but that's just set dressing. That's
right.
Not,
and yeah, for sure.
Anyone can draw someone getting eaten. It just screams. You're like, okay, that's not even. I wouldn't even count that as an on-screen death at some point.
Okay, yes, I guess, yeah.
Well, because it's like it doesn't have an impact beyond just like, oh, that's not relevant to the story. We just want to put that in here, so there is some death,
Yeah.
But don't worry, it's not going to affect anything in your storyline.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It is very true.
It did affect our storyline because that's that was their reason to get them all over to the aquarium.
Right.
But that could have been anything.
Yeah, of course.
It didn't have to be a bus.
Right.
So.
It didn't have to be a bus. That is very true.
So it's that kind of death on screen doesn't really do much for me personally. But.
That's fair. I mean, so to me, I just enjoyed kind of the goofiness of it, and I mean, like, because I'm with you. I think that this show for sure is not a like an Attack on Titan or something where it's like a fairy, like the storyline is serious, like the things that are going on in it are dire. It's just kind of like.
No, it's very much a slice of life. Like, that's definitely what this is.
Yeah.
Like it's been meant to be more of that.
It's kind of just a violent slice of life.
Yeah, it's a violent slice of life.
And I kind of dig that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I get it. I guess not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm like, I'm digging it right now.
What I liked the most about this episode was when Kendo showed his butthole.
That was tight.
That was
Honestly,
my favorite moment of the show.
You know what makes me really mad, guys? Why are you censoring it?
No, I'm fine with the censor.
Netflix, I want to see that bunghole.
Kendo is so much more interesting than anyone else on screen whenever you talk, because the actual character development you get with him, his character development's been the best so far on the entire show.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he is my favorite.
Akira's cool and all, but Akira has no flaws.
Like, eh. I mean, like, Akira is just us.
He's us, right? He has no flaws. He's
right.
He's a template almost, right?
He's like he is the blank canvas that you go, right. That's me,
right?
And Tendo is the cool friend that you wish you had. Would get naked all the time. I wonder. Do you have anyone like that in your life, bud?
I don't know, man. I think Kendo's really good. He's the one reason I want to watch the show more.
That's fair.
I wish there was more of him in this episode. But really,
you'll get more of his bunghole, okay?
That butthole was really his thing. That butt shot. So
come on, get me.
That's all I have to say about the show.
Okay. Though. Well, what would you rate it?
7. It's pretty to look at.
Wow, that's still fucking high for giving all that shit.
I'd call it average. 7's average.
Okay.
I would call 7 average. Yeah. So,
I give it 8.5.
Yeah, I think
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't, again, not really a lot of high stakes. And I'm with you. Like, I think that the girl like mistreating him is not like cool.
It's just not.
But
it just takes you out. Like, you're just like, why?
But I also kind of get it from her perspective, though. Like, I get like the person being like, hey, this guy, I mean, you gotta think it from a woman's perspective too. This fucking dude is trying to hit on me in the middle of a pandemic, like virus thing, and I'm just trying to stay alive. Both times this dude has been like, he went to go get beer the first time and then she had to save him, and then the second time it's like he's saving her, but for what purpose? And like, he is throwing himself in harm's way, and for the sake of just random strangers, even over the sake of his friends. And so I would probably also be like, I don't really know if you're the best for me. And then, so I get it. I get her perspective. You don't have to be that much of a dick about it. And she's very much like what do you call it? Like a very
she's a lone wolf.
Yeah, but what is that? So she's very like eloquent, right? So she's just gonna go off in that way.
Yeah,
and I don't love that, but I get it. I still get it. I get her character, so I'm not angry at her character, and I don't hate her character.
I don't think her character makes sense anyways, because she wouldn't. Why would she be in that group in the first place?
She's trying to get to a boat. They fucking said that.
Yeah, so why? But she's never. But she even's like a loner in the show the whole time before this.
Yeah.
And then she goes in this group, and then she even makes a comment. This is why I hate groups.
Yeah.
It's like, well, then why are you in a group? Like,
to get to the boat.
What?
To get to the boat. Maybe it was kind of like, hey, you have to all be on this thing to get on this boat. We don't know that.
We don't know that. All we know is that she was in a group, even though she doesn't usually go in groups.
Right.
So she was forced in this situation somehow, or she was in this dumb situation in the first place just so she could be here.
Yeah.
You can just see all the writing in this show. It's just so obvious. Like, they just want to create these scenarios.
Yeah.
Specifically.
It's almost like it's a slice of life.
Yeah.
About creating fucking scenarios.
What an anime. It's not a 7's not. It's not a bad anime.
I know.
I'll back up.
It's okay. You don't even need to like it.
That character just really puts me off.
That's
and
fair.
Then like, I don't know. I don't like characters like that.
Puts you off, huh?
If those characters like, and then for her just to blush and then dip like a.
Yeah, I will say, reading it, I didn't really get the vibe of that. I felt like the vibe was not like, oh my god, it was like a way different, like, hey, fine, like I'll give you my number because it's pretty much what she said at the end. It's like, hey, like realistically, we're probably never gonna see each other again. Who gives a fuck?
When's that samurai girl coming in?
Dude, it has to be next episode, bro.
Fan service is coming back.
Coming back.
All right, let's go on to our next episode of Anima.
What is it?
Anima. Bleach. Bleach. I said it's Bleach. It's Bleach. It's Bleach.
Fucking Bleach. Bleach.
I get to read this one, dude. Oh, man.
You get to read.
Okay, let me just read this banger of an episode summary. Okay, Ichigo jumps down from Zero Squad to head to Soul Society. I can't remember the guy's name. And I put Hashvalt, which is not his name, I think, but it's the blonde guy that's in charge while Yuhabaha is asleep. or doing his thing. It's the blonde guy. It's the blonde captain or leader of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's ranked. He's A or B or whatever the fuck. He's B.
A is Yuha Bach.
Yeah, so he's B.
Yeah. He tells Uryu something important about Yuha Bach, that he has to always absorb souls because we don't know.
Because
Rukia begins her battle with Asnote. I think it's Asnote. While she seems to lose composure at first, Byakuya shows up to instill confidence in her. Rukia unleashes her Bankai, instantly slaying Asnote.
Yeah, her new Bankai is fucking crazy.
Okay, so I am always this is always annoying when the writer does this, but hey, let me create this false period of time so the main character doesn't show up soon enough. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that because it's very, very obvious what they're doing.
Yeah. It's
like, hey, I'll be there in half a day. Bitch, that's like so much in-game or in-world time for this. Like,
right.
You know, it's like, So
we won't ever get to see
Yeah,
Ichigo
so it's
again.
just more Ichigo not fighting. And obviously we knew that was coming as readers. But like, you know, it's one of those things that always puts me off when you have these kind of things in shows.
Yeah.
So this is just the thing that put me off. That being said, the animation of him like flying down was actually really good looking.
I mean, what looked cool, I did make me go, huh?
When the wind was hitting.
When he was like going, and then he's like, I need to get there fast, and he goes, pow! And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. And then he just like jet plane Mach 5s down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, is he Superman now?
Yeah. The animation was looking good.
Yeah, because wasn't Rukia flying as well?
Rukia was never here.
What the fuck is going on?
What do you mean?
No, like, isn't she like?
Everyone
like going.
Oh yeah, everyone can do that.
Everyone can do that, right?
In society. Yeah,
Okay.
They create barriers of reishi beneath their feet to step on.
Got it.
Yeah, that's
okay.
all
That makes more sense.
That's so they can all stay in midair.
Okay, never mind.
That's the lore reason at least. So Rukia's by herself and she's like exploring in this place where society is.
Where am I? No,
and then probably one of the dopest scenes to kick this part off with was the quick cut to her hand and then the other hand grabbing up to it.
Yeah.
And then the cut away. That was so good.
Yeah.
Like that was so good.
It was so good. And then like when she gets like the whisper in her ear as well. And it was just like that whole moment up to like then like, you know, they're looking at each other and I was just like, oh my God.
How'd you feel about him and his design and everything? Because he's drawn to look like a horror villain, right? Or to look like a horror thing.
Yeah, I mean that's the aesthetic for sure. Is like because his whole thing is fear, so he needs to obviously look as like scary.
He's letter F, letter F. Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was done super well. It made me go ugh a lot of times, like seeing him in like the later stages when he was like getting like more like just grotesque and like kind of like squishy,
like body.
And I was just like, oh God, like because like when you're reading it, like you know it's like there, but you just get to see it. You don't really get to hear the squish and like see
his release isn't as gross as it is in the manga, or isn't as gross as it is in the anime. Like the manga's way less gross.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh okay, like he's like creepy as fuck. I mean the drawings are
this is body horror at some point. Like this is straight up body horror.
Yeah, I mean
like limbs hanging off limbs, hanging off bodies, hanging off limbs. Like it's just weird. Like I like a lot like an abomination. I thought it was very well done and really pretty too. Like
it was pretty.
Yeah. I thought the framing for that red sky, when stuff is lining up color-wise with the red sky, it's a really pretty shot. I'll call it out specifically later on when we're talking about it. But how did you? So they redefined Soda no Shiraiki, her sword, right?
Right.
How'd you feel about that? And how they did that? Like,
I thought they did.
Show her thumb crack.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I thought that they did it well. I love the idea that she has one of the most powerful Bankai, but also one of the most dangerous because it can actually like kill her if she like uses it incorrectly,
right?
Or even comes down from the power incorrectly. Yeah. Which I was like, damn, like that, and that's actually not great to use that in like fights, especially if it's multiple people and stuff like that. It's like okay, it's kind of a hey, I'm gonna do this and here we go. I
feel like it's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't go down to absolute zero unless you really have to.
You really got it.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I did love because I kind of totally forgot just this part where she was going like, oh yeah, I'm not afraid. I was like, I remember there's a reason why she's not afraid, but I couldn't remember why. And then she's like, I'm dead right now. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's right. Like,
her body temp is
yeah, she's like, I'm dead, so I actually don't feel any pain or fear. And I'm just like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I really liked the redefinition of that too, of it being a sword of cold from actually being more like a sword that controls your body temp. You know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense if you look at her Shikai in the past now, how she fired off that ice, unless that was like just a side effect she can do. But
maybe she's Ice Queen now.
Yeah, her Bankai. So they brought back some OG like soundtracks here a lot.
Yeah,
like not just like, so I mentioned off air, Never Meant to Belong. I think it was the piano song.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that one. The first time, well, the most prominent time you hear that, I think, before this, I would probably say was the episode where Ichigo fights Grand Fisher, like in the first season, at his mom's grave.
Yeah,
that's where that song was really prominent when I first was thinking about it. Like, I mean, it's before in the show too. I think when like it talks about Orihime's brother, who was like the second Hollow Ichigo ever fought.
Yeah, yeah, and kills, right?
So such a wild thing to think about back in the day, of like Ichigo Orihime's brother died and becomes a Hollow. Wow. So yeah, yeah. Okay. So what I want to talk about actually was her Bankai.
Okay.
And how you thought about that and how they did that.
No, I thought it was done very beautifully. I loved when she was like counting down, like the first slash that she did when she like went right by him, because he's just like, what do you fear? Someone not being afraid of fear. And then when she goes boom, and then it's just like a block cut out of
that's
ice.
Just Shikai, not her Bankai.
Right.
Oh god, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that point leading up to that, where I was just like, God damn, that's so cool.
Rukia became the power play. Like,
and then dude,
right?
As soon as I will say, it wasn't like a few seconds. She pulls out her full Bankai. Her hair turns like she looks like an
at the very
ice
end of the episode.
Queen,
she does her Hagami.
That's her true Bankai, right?
That's her actual Bankai. I mean, she's never had it before.
Right.
She's always been like, hey, I can take on the security guy for in the Espada place, in Mikamundo. I got the security captain. You guys get the big boys. Cool, bye.
That's not
fair.
Not real Soul Reapers.
That's not fair because she did kill one of the Espada, the brain guy that took over her.
Oh yeah, no, that was a big fight that she
was
did.
Espada. That was like number 8 or something like that, or 9.
Yeah,
I remember. I think
she did that by herself.
That was her.
That was literally where Stephanie and I were when we stopped watching.
It's a cool episode.
It's fucking sick. I love that arc.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go rewatch that arc.
Yeah, I want to read that.
Ugh.
So I think her Bankai gave me chills, like literally. Like I was like, whoa, this is musically, I think was where it really got
on
me.
Point.
But I wanted to talk about this last because I think the coolest part of this episode is kind of seeing the redemption of the relationship of Rukia and Byakuya.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Like this is like they really aren't too talk much, like they don't talk to each other too much or too in depth after like the first like bit where like he's like the main bad guy for Ichigo.
Right.
And so like that relationship doesn't really progress a whole lot from there to now, but like finally seeing like him treating her with respect and like dignifying her and like lifting her up to see like a good brother feels so good,
dude. It felt so like when he's like, hey, I just want you to know like that, like, what did he say? What was the exact line where he's like, I care for you, or like you
your Bankai is powerful. Like he praises her about her
strength. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then she curls around and goes, Nissan said something this about me.
Yeah.
He praised me, and she's like super excited about that.
Right. But I love like his reason. He's like, that's what fear is it plays on our insecurities, or it plays on like the things that like, like the doubts that we have. And he's like, and I love like even the question afterwards is like, do you have anything else? Like, is there anything else that he kind of feels like he needs to write with her? And she's like, no, that was it. And I was like, gosh, I love this.
And then even like it's kind of poetic too, because this is the guy that originally stole Byakuya's sword, Bankai, sorry, and like as Note makes a comment and said, I carved out your stomach, and I was like, fudge, dude.
Yeah.
like, does that mean he actually doesn't have a stomach anymore?
Maybe, dude.
Probably not. I bet you Orihime could fix that. Like,
it didn't show him eating.
That's true, but I bet you Orihime could actually fix that like nothing. So
yeah, probably
she could fix everything apparently. Jeez. So
yeah, I mean, what did you think about the next episode we're gonna get?
I didn't watch the preview.
What the fuck?
I never watched the preview if I can avoid it.
Oh, okay, then I won't say anything.
But the next episode, I believe. Because I didn't say the closing scene. Right, there was a fight kind of set up. Right, my bad.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Ken Chan's lieutenant. Oh, what's her name?
It's Kenpachi's
lieutenant. Yarozu. I can't remember her name. Her and Asane, which is the. I only know her sword. Her sword command is sprint, I think. But she's one of the ones that gets one shot by Ichigo, who just punches her. So I don't have high hopes for her at all.
No, but
they're fighting someone.
Yeah, they're fighting the whatever his name is. Yeah,
the guy that can erase his presence.
And I remember going like this. Oh fuck! I don't remember liking this. But then I also was like, if Kenpachi's lieutenant is involved, and I'm not gonna lie, I forget. Luke probably hasn't forgotten.
Oh, I haven't forgotten.
I think Kenpachi's gonna come soon. I think that's what happens.
I believe he should be there before this season's over. That's what I'll say. As to avoid any spoilers, I guess.
I know he's coming. I just want him. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want. Give me it.
Yeah, I'm appreciating the glow ups for our main cast. To have both Renji and Rukia one shot their guys really feels like, well, typical Bleach, right?
Yeah.
It's always power. It's always like a landslide of power once it truly starts. But B, also just make characters that felt like shit and useless useful.
Yeah.
You know?
That is true.
Rukia and Renji have not been power players for a very long time.
Yeah.
I think Renji's last use was the Bounce Saga. That's not true, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels like Renji just hasn't been as useful as you want him to be.
Yeah, so, no, for sure.
That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely understand.
How would you rate this episode, though?
I think I would give it honestly, like a 9.5, probably.
Same. Exactly the same.
Yeah. What's your complaint?
My big annoyance is the Ichigo buffer in the beginning.
Him just going, hey, what's up, baby? I'm coming. I thought that was a cool moment. You didn't like when he was like,
I think,
hey, guys,
sure, I like that.
I'm on my way.
I like that.
Motherfuckers.
That's sick. I hate the manufactured freaking block of time thrown in front of him.
What do you mean? When they were all standing there?
Yeah. And they just, hey, it's going to take you 6 weeks or whatever, or 6 days or whatever. I can get there in half a day, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, now we're just going to watch Ichigo fall for a couple episodes after we just watched him walk for a bunch of episodes.
I think he's getting next episode.
You think he's getting their next episode?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do a dinner bet on that?
I don't think so.
We can do a dinner bet on that if you want.
No, because I honestly don't think he's coming back to the last episode.
I read this bit, and I don't. Well,
you read what they were gonna do?
I know. I've read this bit as much as you've read it. I think I just remember it more than you. So
well, I know. I mean,
I don't know.
Trying to think. I'm trying to think of how many things happen, but then he won't be here.
You know, anything else you say could be a spoiler. So I'm gonna not say anything.
Okay, don't say anything. 9.5.
9.5.
That's what we give it. It's very cool, very dope.
Yeah, that's it.
Big ass bug in
It's
here.
definitely the anime of the week.
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
Zom is a close second.
Sorry. That shot with the red background I like a lot. It's actually as note after he gets frozen to death and half his face has already like faded away.
Yeah.
Or head. It's put up against the red sky in one of the coolest looking shots in that show I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is fucking rad.
Damn near artistic. You know, it's like what the hell, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it. Thunder Goose Podcast.
Thunder Goose.
Check us out on Twitch at 8:30 on Tuesdays. Please.
We're playing through Dead Space right now still. Yeah. About to get some spookies out.
Yeah. We're a little over halfway.
Yeah.
So we'll keep pushing through. So come join us. Check out the rest of our episodes. We just did a long. Is the Monster Hunter before?
Yeah, that's before.
We just did a long form episode on Monster Hunter for the first time ever. But you wouldn't know that unless you went and listened to it. So
yeah, it's our microsode.
Go listen to last Friday's microsode.
It's called Monster Mayhem, probably. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes. Well,
it might not be called that.
Maybe call it something that people know what it is. But yeah.
Monster